So good evening, head coach of Zenit, Xavi Pascual. So coach, your word first.
Good evening everyone. First of all, I cannot avoid one more time to congratulate the club and the supporters for this amazing atmosphere that tonight we had in the game. It was amazing, and it's always a pleasure to be over here. Tonight I think we played a serious game. Defensively, all the game I think we were okay. In all the situations, we control more or less the points that we wanted to control. The only problem, I think, the only thing that we didn't control very well was Lekavicius. That Lucas took a lot of advantage in all the situations. But all the rest of the situations, with our mistakes, but I think we did a very good job. Offensively, we finished with 18 assists. 9 turnovers, 10 steals, so I think the number is excellent. But we were not effective under the basket. I think tonight, if we were a little bit more effective, we could close the game before. But I have to congratulate Žalgiris, because always they were fighting for the game. They had their opportunities to give the game back. But we were okay, we controlled the last minutes, and this is why finally we achieved this important win for us.
Okay, questions?
Coach, it seemed that in the first half you controlled the game, but in the third quarter Žalgiris got the momentum and caught you. So what kind of adjustment Žalgiris made which allowed them to stay up until the end of the game?
On the first 20 minutes I think we played much better than these 6 points that we had on the half court. Also, when you saw the ranking all the game, finally it was 63-79, and on the half court also we had a big advantage, but we were not effective one more time, as I said before. Žalgiris attack better. They take the middle a lot of times in penetrations. They drive close to the rim, and from this position they took advantage. Also, they were effective in 2-3 points in a row. But we didn't lose the punch of the game. We were in a good concentration all the time. We understood that we have our possibilities to win if we continue in our plan game. This is things that usually in one game it happens, that you cannot be always in the same direction. And immediately we were back and we led the game until the last part of the game.
You also mentioned that Lekavicius caused you a lot of problems. So could you comment why did he play so good against you? Was it matchups or other reasons?
I like him very much. He's one excellent player, one amazing kick. We have a very good relation. And he's a very good player. He's very quick. For our characteristics, maybe it's difficult to match him well for our characteristics. But we have to congratulate him for this game. But finally, we found a way to win.
It's been 3 weeks since Napier isn't playing, so could you tell us how his recovery progress is going and when we could expect him to see on the court?
We don't know exactly, but we have to wait at least two weeks more, but we don't know exactly the time. So it was important injury, and we want him to recover as soon as we can, but we want to recover him perfectly to be back.
Also, since he is injured, now the other players have to step up. So how would you evaluate like Baron or Lloyd's input in that point guard position at the moment?
Yes, we are working hard with a lot of players in this position. Connor Frank opened the game very well. After that, Kulagin helped us also. Some minutes with Baron, some minutes with Ponitka, with Lloyd. I think it's something that we are working to. First of all, when one player is injured, all the players, they must make one step up and to be ready to help in another things, and all the team reacts very well. And this is why at least we can compete in all the games until now.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pradedam spaudos konferenciją su Edgaru Ulanovu. Tai Edgarai, visų pirma, žodis tau.
Visų pirma, manau, didžiausios ovacijos šiandieną atitenka nei Zenitui už pergalę, nei mum, sakykime, už momentais kovą, bet ir galiam, kuriuo atėjo šiandieną. Ir mūsų labai nustebino, pamalonino ir visi buvom pasilgę tokios atmosferos. Ir jeigu matėt, kad momentais buvo atsilikinėjama, tenais 10 taškų, dar kažkur ir kažkokie spurtai įvykdavo, tai didelė dalį tikrai prisidėjo ir galiai, kad sugrįžti į rungtynės. Tai labai ačiū ir didžiausias ačiū šiandieną. Kalbant toliau, tai sunkios rungtynės, Zenitas labai organizuota komanda. Sakykime, momentais pavyko mums juos įvelti irgi kažkokį nepatogų žaidimą ir priversti juos pulti neparuoštai, kaip jie yra įpratę. Bet, sakykime, mes patys puolime, ypač pradžio rungtynių tikrai atrodėm neužtikrintai ir daug tokio brokuoto žaidimo, prarastų kamuolių, be tęstinumo, kažkur kažkas paskuba, kažkur kažkas nepastato užtvaros, dar kažkas, tai Eurolygoje, kaip pasakyti, užtenka kėlinio netgi kartais, arba pusės kėlinio blogai sužaisti ir tada nelaimi rungtynių. Tai mano gynybo šiandien tikrai neblogai momentais atrodėm, bet aišku, reikėjo geresnio organizuotumo puolime.
Kolegos, jūsų klausimai?
Edgarai, apie tą organizuotumą puolime patys matom, kad komanda vienaip atrodo su Mūdijai, kitaip atrodo su Lekavičium. Kaip galvoji, kaip Mūdijai atrodo ir tuomet, kai mes jo nematom? Mes jį matom per rungtynes, bet kaip jisai atrodo, kai mes jo nematom ir kaip galvoji, kiek gali užtrukti tas jo pristaikymas prie tokio žaidimo?
Na, visų pirma, Emanuelis tikrai reaguoja visas pastabas. Tikrai noriai, sakau, supranta tiek ir žaidėjų pusės, kur kažką mes duodam patarimą, kokį dar kažką. Galbūt kas labiausiai kliūna akis, tai drąsos daugiau, tokio užtikrintumo, nes vis tiek jisai mums yra svarbus žaidėjas ir mes bandom jam tą pasakyti ir taip yra aišku, kad jisai tikrai turi čia visas sąlygas gerai žaisti. Tai to užsidėgymo galbūt drąsos, balso galų gale rungtynių metu tiek žaidėjams, dar kažkam suolui galbūt kartais, kad palaikykit mus labiau dar kažką. Bet šiaip tikrai, žmogus pasiruošęs tobulėti ir priprasti prie europietiško krepšinio, dabar matom visi nėra lengva. Priverčia komandos geros jį jaustis nepatogiai, mesti tuos neparuoštus metimus, bet jisai tikrai supranta, kad čia lengva ir nebus.
Daugiau klausimų nebus?
Ar per tą savaitę kažkoks tai progresas jaučiasi? Minėjai, kad gynyba šiandien neblogiau atrodėt. Kiek per tą savaitę buvo patobulėta iš viso?
Buvo daug akcentuota gynyba. Matėm, kad Vilerbanė labai jau per lengvai leidom jaustis šeimininkams. Tai tikrai akcentuojam daug gynybą. Buvo tikrai geresnis darbas, daugiau pagalbų vieni kitiems ir panašiai. Tai, tikrai, manau, momentais kažkuriais tikrai privertėm Zenitą pasijausti nepatogiai. Tai darbas, kurį atlikom šią savaitę, davė kažkokiu tais vaisių, bet, galų gale pergalės nepavyko laimėti namuose. Tai, sakau, dabar nepradėsim džiaugtis kitais dalykais, nes nelaimėjom. Tai rezultatas yra blogas, -6. Ir nei džiaugtis, nei liūdėti, kaip sakant, nėra kada, reikia ruoštis kitoms rungtynėm, nes tvarkaraštis tikrai yra sudėtingas.
Paulius Matijūnas šią savaitę užsiminė, kad sudėtis Žalgirio gali būti negalutinė. Kol kas, kaip jūsų akimis atrodo, ar reikia žvalgytis rinkoje, pasižvalgyti, kad Žalgiris konkurencingas visą sezoną būtų?
Tai, kaip pasakyti, kas mes čia esame, vieni kitais pasitikėsime 100%, nes kito kelio nėra, o kas komplektuos komandą, tai jau jų reikalas, kaip čia pasakyti. Mes nepradėsim dabar pirštis badyti ir sakyti, tu tenais blogai darai tą ir tą, tai taip tikrai nebus. Surinkti tikrai geri vyrukai, vieni kitus palaikys ir šiai dienai turim, ką turim ir turim iš to stengtis išspaust maksimumą, nesižvalgyti į kažkokias kitas kalbas, nes būtent šiai dienai turim tiek, kiek yra ir mes atiduosim viską, ką galim.
Ačiū. Conference with Žalgiris guard Jānis Telnieks. Jānis, word for you.
Tough one. The good thing was we stepped it up defensively, and the bad thing was we had too many, let's say, bad turnovers. I had a couple of them in the first half, and it gave them a lot of easy points, and we have to start over again to be better.
Questions?
Yanis, both games in Euroleague you were the leading scorer of Žalgiris. How do you feel you adapted to the team so far?
We lost the 2 games, so I guess I better don't score and if we win a game.
Overall, how would you rate the Žalgiris progress so far?
Still a lot of work to do. We are 0-2 and we haven't won any game in Euroleague this year yet, and we have to prepare now for Sunday's game and then double game week in Euroleague next week. So it will be tough, but we have to start. We have to start win something.
Yanis is playing more than 25 minutes physically. Is it okay for you for all long season? I mean,
it's an adjustment I have to make this year because last couple of years I didn't play that many minutes, but I will be good. I will be good.
Thank you.
First off, congratulations to Coach Pascual and Zenit for winning the game. From our point of view, I want to say that we picked things up defensively a lot in the second half. We kept them to 30 points instead of 40. We had much more deflections. I think we had 12 deflections. We got our hands on the basketballs much more. We had 3 deflections in the first. We got scored on for 6 points in isolated situations. We got scored on for 15 points in the first half on isolated situations. So I thought the guys took care of some things defensively. Now the challenge obviously then was scoring the basketball, especially if you can stop a team like Zenit at that rate. You know, we should be able to score a couple more buckets in transition, and we could not, which is a problem. I have to really credit the fans. They're a massive sixth man. We need them. We need them strongly. I thought they were fantastic. And a lot of credit goes out to them.
Okay, questions?
A couple of questions from Žalgiris Insider subscribers, and the first question is: at the end of the game, when there was a break in the game, what was struggling, the offensive end or the defensive end?
At the very end of the game, I mean, I would say a combination of both. I do think that Lloyd came through strongly in the end with that pull-up shot that he had a couple minutes before the game, where you could just feel where a quality player like him takes over. Thought Giannis did a good job on him, but you know, like, the guy is a good player. You know, he made some tough plays there. But I cannot answer the question whether it was this or that. I guess it was a combination.
And another question is: what does Žalgiris lack in order to use and amplify step-out defense more aggressively?
I don't know if we're lacking anything there. You know, we kept Zenit to 30 points in the second half with exactly the defensive schemes that they were in the first half. I do think that we've got to get better at what we're doing. You know, we obviously made massive defensive changes pretty late in the preseason because we felt we had to adjust out of certain reasons. So I think we'll be fine there. The biggest thing for us is one-on-one defense and close-out defense. At the end of the day, whatever pick-and-roll defense you have to be able to guard one-on-one. And for us, this means being very, very diligent with matchups. B, being very, very diligent with scouting reports. That will be the chance for us to handle those situations. Certain opponents more difficult than others. I think that an Asvel team with the quickness that they had and the athleticism is extremely tough. I think a Zenit team is tough too, but a little bit easier to analyze. You know, like from an individual standpoint, not easier to play. Do not get me wrong, but that's what it's going to come down to for us.
Okay, thank you. Oh.
Coach, you mentioned about those things, those defensive struggles one-on-one. Is it that some of the personnel is not that good playing one-on-one, and maybe the team defense in that case has to be better?
I would agree on that. I think we have to shrink the floor a lot in isolated situations. I will agree on that. Again, we made massive changes defensively in our pick and roll coverage because we felt we had to protect certain matchups. Yes, I'll agree.
On offense, we saw kind of two different faces of Žalgiris, one with Mudiay and one with Lekavičius. Did you expect Mudiay to have these kind of struggles, and how long do you think it will take for him to get better on the court?
I said earlier on that thought like until December, to be honest, but this is just like a thing that I kind of put out there. But I do think that it is, one has to have patience. Now, having said that, still, his strength is getting into the paint, and so far it hasn't been utilized. And we haven't really seen it consistently, let's put it like this, consistently, because obviously there have been games where he's shown a lot. I thought the first preseason game was a good spark, and then despite the competitive level being different in LKL than in Euroleague, we've also seen really good sparks there. So, but we need it more consistently, and I'm optimistic that we'll get there.
Coach, how is Mudiay coping with a role on the bench, and how long is he ready to play for 12 minutes till December?
I think he's so far he's done a very good job of socializing with the group. Very good job of socializing with the culture, and I think he's totally fine because he's a very, very well reflected young man he's a pleasant, reflected young man, and I think he understands that this situation today needed a different personnel on the floor, and that's it, and I will repeat, we're optimistic, that he'll be fine and he'll figure it out. And by the way, we will figure it out, because I think putting all this pressure on Emmanuel does not do him good. It's not fair, and we're in it together.
Coach, you made the change in the starting five with Paulius Jankūnas being in the place of Tyler Kavanagh. Can you tell what was behind this decision, and how do you think it worked?
Mickey for them starting, where Mickey is almost a 5-man, and felt we need the solid rebounding of Paulius there. So that was the background, and I thought Yankee did a good job.
Yesterday, Paulius Motiejūnas said that possibly the team is going to look for addition for a reinforcement. What do you think the team is lacking the most at the moment? In which positions?
I know you would love me to answer this question, but I'll stay without a comment here.
But do you feel like that new player, could be found soon? Do you have a deadline for that?
I think you've got to, how should I say? There is no deadline. The deadline for that is like a EuroLeague trade deadline. I don't even know when that is. Sometime next year. So there's absolutely no deadline for that at all.
Okay, guys. Thank you, and see you in the next game.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.